Watch this.
Oh, hallelujah.
Get up right now.
I'm hearing something real powerful for someone. And now listen to this. Hallelujah. Sent that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah.
This is what you do.
Something more than it was. Yes. Listen to this right here.
I heard then, it was like the Lord spoke that through me then.
Oh, there it is. Get up right now.
There it is again. Hallelujah. Sent that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah.
This is what you do.
Something more than it was.
I like that, don't you?
Make a vow. Make a vow.
Amen.
Make a vow. Make a Get up right now.
There it is again, so strong.
Oh, yes.
Sent that man that reaching out to hurting people. Hallelujah.
This is what you do.
Something more than it was. Amen.
Welcome to this wonderful Tuesday night. It is another NerdCap. If you don't know what a NerdCap is, it's like a nightcap for nerds. And we're going to chat here for probably about an hour and 15, hour and 20. Who knows? We may throw back a little bit more than we ought to this evening. But we are going to be talking with Chris Faction tonight about his CG Brawl. And we're going to talk with Jason Sandberg about his book Jupiter tonight. And we're going to be answering some questions about that, interviewing him a little bit about his little journey. Let's go ahead and welcome a few people here this evening. We got Black Hat Cinephile is in the house. Welcome, Black Hat. It's nice to have you. Send me some money and I'll pray for the Lord to give you even more money to send me. Yes, yes, very much. And we've got
See how that works.
Waifu Kron in the house. Welcome. Hey, fellow nerds. It's nice to have you. Folks, those out there watching, I see plenty of you on the ticker there. We are also broadcasting tonight to Rumble. So we are going to be over there. Not Rumble. Is that Rumble? Yes, Rumble.
Yeah.
Sometimes I call it Bumble. I don't know. I never know. Guys, I never really know. But we're broadcasting over there this evening as well. And so, yeah, feel free to sit back, hang out, and just listen to us in the background. Or pop in the chat and let your presence be known. We are more than happy to have you be a part of the conversation. Tonight's episode is brought to you by, well, let me see. Who's it going to be brought to us by tonight? It's going to be brought to us by this guy right here. Here we go.
Hey, you! Are you tired of lame-ass stories for kids? Well, don't be a moron. Walk through that door.
I wonder if that's for adults only. Is this for kids?
What's wrong? Don't be a sissy baby. Just have a look. The Buckler Canadian Tussle. Exclusively on Fun My Comic.
There you go. Yeah, it's brought to us tonight by the Buckler Canadian Tussle. You know what? Yeah, you know what? You too could sponsor an episode. You'll never know if you do. It just happens to be some days.
That's
kinda
fitting because
go for it.
I've got some questions about Fun My Comics, so I'm looking forward to talking about that more.
Yeah, we'll get there. Welcome, Dark Gift Comics is in the house. What's up, peeps? Anthony, you're always welcome to join the panel. You do know how to get a hold of that link, my friend. It is available to you anytime you would like. So yeah, let's have a little fun this evening. First, I want to start out with a little bit of, you guys know it was a free comic book day last Saturday, right?
It was.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Did anybody participate? Did you get your free comics?
I can't say that I did. I have a job that's really crazy this week. And so,
that's
yeah.
right. You, my friend, work in the floral industry, don't you?
Yes, in the wholesale side of things, and it is Mother's Day week.
Oh yeah, Mother's Day. So you know, like that's like the number 2 holiday, right?
Yes. It's
Speaking of mothers, welcome Piper. Piper is our resident mom and werewolf, our mama wolf. Tonight, Piper is brought to you by Randy Zimmerman and Comics by Night.
In the middle of the night or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
Oh, that trailer is so Randy, isn't it? Yeah. Welcome, Will Pace. Will's in the house. Welcome. So wholesale. So yeah, Mother's Day is the number 2 holiday.
yes.
Right behind Christmas.
Dang, really?
Yes. It is above Easter.
Dang.
Would you guys have any guess on where Father's Day falls?
Oh no.
Ooh.
In that
Oh no. That's not cool.
Any guess?
I can imagine. Before Easter still?
Oh no, Easter's number 3.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Christmas, Mother's Day, Easter.
Oh shoot. Halloween should be next.
Yeah, Halloween's pretty high up there. Yeah.
I'm surprised Halloween is high.
I think James
Mother's
is looking
Day
it up right now, isn't he?
Right.
I think James is googling it. I can hear the Google.
I'm actually
Google
surprised
food.
that Halloween is not higher than Mother's Day. Like, what?
Will says thinks it's 75. Welcome, wise guys. It's nice to have you here, man. Actually, the report I saw said 23.
What?
There are 22 holidays above Father's Day. Arbor Day gets more love than Father's Day. Can you believe that?
Are you?
I kid you not. And you know why? Because fathers just know to work hard and keep their mouths shut. That's
For a split second, I thought you
what we
said
do.
bowels, and
Amen.
definitely not our bowels. We don't keep our mouths shut.
So you're saying that Arbor Day gets more wood than Father's Day? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It's more wood. Yes. Hey yo, Waka Waka. I see that. I see where you went there, James. I think you're going to work out just fine on this panel, my friend. Because fathers were just barely there for the conception, not the 9 months that followed. Some fathers, but look, a lot of us we're in this. And mainstream media trying to destroy fathers and male mentors. That is true.
As a single father, I can tell you that we need lots of loving.
We do need lots of loving.
That's what she said.
Yes.
That's what she said. All right. So anyway, Saturday was free comic book day. So yeah, you're busy. You're busy getting the flowers ready. So you don't have time for comic books this week, unfortunately. But you still managed to do this thing that we're going to talk about here in a minute. But what I want to talk about, we talk so much comics, we hardly talk games. Are you guys even familiar with what's going on in the game world at all?
I used to, well, I still play Magic the Gathering, but I kind of closed myself off to Wizards of the Coast in general, so I don't play new Magic the Gathering.
That's the way to do it, though.
Yeah.
I play with my old stuff with my friends that have whatever they have, but I won't go to tournament. I don't do tournaments anymore, and I don't buy new cards and stuff. Screw Wizards.
Screw Wizards. That's,
some Wizards are cool. These guys not so much though.
Yes.
Where's the beef?
Tell you where the beef's at. The beef is with Wizard. Check this out. Wizards of the Coast is not having a very good couple of weeks. The company received a lot of negative publicity in the Magic community after sending Pinkerton agents to a YouTuber's home to recover boxes of March of the Machines Aftermath that, according to him, had shipped to his home instead of the legally available booster boxes he had ordered.
Yeah.
Wizards of the Coast said that the Pinkertons were sent as a part of an investigation into the unauthorized distribution of embargoed product, which March of the Machines Aftermath certainly is. Wizards of the Coast claims that the Pinkertons handled themselves professionally. However, according to the YouTuber Dan Kent, and let's be honest, who's people going to believe? Wizards, or are they going to believe the YouTuber?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, is the fact that they already started doing bad like a couple months ago when they said that they were using the Pinkertons as their private army to do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they flat out boldly
They legit
said
got a
it.
private army.
Yeah, they boldly said that.
It's like the Gestapo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was this product that wasn't supposed to ship yet according to like a release date, or was it stuff that had been recalled? What is it exactly?
I think it was
yeah.
before its official release, and
Okay.
like
They shipped
But
it.
the fact that they're treating like the YouTuber essentially as a criminal for having been shipped this when
He ordered something else, and they shipped this instead.
yeah. He's
They made the
treated,
mistake.
yeah, they made a mistake and they're treating him like some bad guy.
That's crazy.
Creators Outlet says, I'm really surprised they didn't send the 87,000 new IRS agents out with them.
By the
Oh,
way,
by the
we're
way,
gonna-
by the way, those IRS agents, they're strapping. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Oh.
But they're all guns. They all carry firearms.
Yep.
Right? Come on. How weird is that, right? I'm an accountant and I'm going to check your taxes, but I need a gun too. For
Wow.
what?
Well, I mean, to be fair, nobody likes the IRS, so they might need it for
True.
self-defense.
True. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Because otherwise, that's probably going to be the first thing anybody does is just go,
Right.
"Oh, sorry, there was a strange, suspicious-looking person on my property."
I mean,
didn't know he was an IRS agent.
True. I mean, if you come to my house, it's probably not a good, probably not a good chance you could. Oh, did I tell you guys about what happened the other night? I know we talked about it on Nerd Bacon. It was at like 3:20, something like that, in the morning. We had a real bad. It was cold and windy, and so our ring went off on the back door, and we thought that it was the wind chimes blowing because the wind was blowing real hard, that it just triggered it. Well, about 20 minutes later, it goes off again. So my wife opens up the app, and there's a person standing on our back porch, just swaying ever so slightly, enough to trigger the ring again. They'd been there for almost an hour on our back porch. Well, I'm a little gimpy from my whole medical issues. And oh, dude, I was not very gimpy. I just flew down the stairs. Me and the dog. We're both barking, by the way. I'm like, good, let's get him, girl. Me and the dog both. We're going. I've got my new pistol with me, right? I've got that thing out. We go to that back door. I throw that back door open, and I look right at him. I said some things. Not very Christian things. But the gist of it was, what are you doing here? Was the gist of what I said. Okay? And they just they're holding something like this, little plastic flowers and this little thing in their hand. And they just look up at me with these cold, dead eyes, say, I'm sorry, I missed it. And look back down and open their hand. There's some kind of little trinket in there. And I was like, yo, you ain't right.
What?
Never mind, I'm holding a pistol, right at them, right? And they're like, and I was like, excuse me? They said, I'm sorry, I missed it. I said, well, you ain't missed nothing here. You got to go. You need to keep going. And I saw this truck pull up. I assumed it was with them, right? So I was like, no, you need to get going. And oh, it's a trap. Yeah, I'm looking around every corner because my brain is they're here to distract me so that the bad guys can break in.
Yeah,
that's what they're.
That
here
was
to do.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, when you
that's
said,
what they're gonna do, right? So the screen door never gets opened. I'm through the screen door, but I make sure they can see my firearm, and me and the dog are both still barking, right? And so we're both still barking at these people. So at this point, but they wind up leaving, and then found out that they were up on the neighbor's porch for an hour that same night too, and everything. So we reported everything, stuff like that. But yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, you don't come around these parts on people's porches, people's yards, not being known. In fact, we're just now starting to get friendly with the neighbors. That's kind of place we are.
Bring back the asylums.
Yeah, this person was maybe on drugs, or maybe they either needed a whole bunch of drugs that they need. Well, there was drugs they probably needed a whole bunch of, or they were on a whole bunch of drugs that they didn't need to be on.
Right.
So it was one of those things. It was either a lack of or too much of kind of situation, I think. But yeah, that's what happened. Anyway, back to this. Wizards of the Coast claims that the Pinkertons, their little private Gestapo army, handled themselves professionally, exactly how all Nazis do. However, according to the YouTuber Dan Cannon, it was anything but, at least until he arrived home and told the agents to move outside. They broke in his house. I do find it rather hard to believe that a case of March of the Machines aftermath made it into distribution early, as I spoke to a few distributors after hearing the story, and none of them had received any of the product yet. From what I have gathered, selected YouTube channels do receive product early for promotional purposes, as Wizards of the Coast has gotten into the habit of spoiling cards early. But given the strictures Wizards of the Coast puts on product shipments, I do wonder how such a large quantity made it into distribution. Then that's not all, folks. Then there was the announcement that the March of the Machines Aftermath bundles had been misprinted, indicating that each box included a collector's booster. Wizards of the Coast will cover the error on each package with a sticker, but that is still an error that should not have slipped through the printing process. Happily, Wizards of the Coast has eliminated plastic wrap on its bundles, so they will not have to strip off the shrink wraps to put the stickers on. But yeah, so that's what they've been dealing with here. And finally, not that there's still another one. Hold on, finally, I wanted to say farewell. Wait, that's something else. That's part of his other. That is part of the article still. To Cryptozoic Entertainment's John Spinnick. Oh, I don't know if you heard about this, but he passed away this week.
Oh.
Yeah, he passed away. I want to cover that. Yep, that's unfortunate. So, Wizard of the Coast sucks, and we lost another great creator. So yeah, that's what's going on. So, Wizards of the Coast, man, funny stuff.
So that part about he asked them to go out. So he arrived there and asked them to go outside. Did like a roommate or a relative let them in, or did they break in?
The article doesn't say. We should definitely look into that. Hold on, let me try to pull that up more. His name was what? Cannon?
Yeah, Dan Cannon. I don't know who he is, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I would see if there's more detailed articles about the experience itself.
Yep, I'm finding it right now.
Where are your magic cards? This is the.
Where are your magic cards?
Show me your cards. Show me your cards.
Jesus.
He was
You
threatened
just
with
can't
fines.
get any more
and jail.
authoritarian than that. It's freaking cards, man. It's cards.
It's a
Magic
game,
card.
people. It's a game.
Yeah,
It's a game. Look, we do comic books here, right? We do comics and games. We're into geek culture.
So
What the heck?
imagine, all right? So to put this in like a different perspective, then imagine if, honestly, I wouldn't put it past them, but a well-known comic publisher, okay, accidentally sends out a misprinted version of their comic to a YouTuber that likes comics instead of what they ordered. So the YouTuber's like, hey, check this out. I don't know why I have this. Isn't this neat or whatever? I mean, I'm assuming he videoed it and that's how they found out, or I don't know. But and then the Pinkertons break in your place for your comic book.
So it says here, Dan Cannon said in a YouTube video that he had purchased and not yet released March of the Machine's Aftermath booster boxes on Friday from a local dealer while thinking they were part of the recent release March of the Machine set.
Oh,
so
that's a different
so he purchased them at a retailer.
Okay.
So he thought they were part of the set. Okay.
So the retailer probably thought it was okay to put them on the shelf.
Right.
Yeah, the retailer broke the strict on sale for those then.
Yeah. Which, look, I used to work at Best Buy, and we would have that all the time. We had a sell date, and we'd get product in sometimes weeks early, to prepare for the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, we would get in a lot of trouble if we sold before. So it's one thing when the retailer does it. But so now the retailer apparently made a mistake, right?
Yeah.
So here's the rest of the story is what he says. So, it seems likely that someone Wizards of the Coast distribution network had screwed up, perhaps sending out the wrong boxes due to the similarly named product line. And he ended up with the MTG cards that aren't supposed to be for sale. After he posted about these cards online, Pinkerton agents showed up to intimidate him into giving the cards back to Wizards of the Coast. So he gets strong-armed. Wow. The Pinkerton agent cited several statutes about copyright infringement and some other things threatening 1 to 10 years in jail and up to $200,000 in fines if I failed to cooperate, Dan Cannon told.
Except
This
technically,
news agency.
he would be completely, he would be.
Yeah, and he would be
completely
fine.
Yeah, the retailer could get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't see how they could fine him.
Not at all. They couldn't, They also said if I didn't hand over the product, they would call the county sheriff and detain us until they arrived to arrest us and search my house for the product, and that they would most likely force us to show receipts for every magic card in the house, which is literally over 1 million cards.
Wow. Yeah, no, I don't keep What? I don't keep receipts for all of that.
So this news agency, they reached out to Wizards of the Coast and did not receive any comments by the time this publication happened.
My sheriff would laugh at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the Pinkertons claimed that they were going to account for over 1 million cards, that's really diligent of them.
Yeah.
It's little wonder that corporations have relied on them to responsibly bust unions and to surveil workers. Man, this is ridiculous.
Oh my God.
The Pinkertons call themselves risk management and security company. No, they're hired goons.
Yeah,
they're a
goons.
professional mafia is what they are. Look at this.
What I want to know
is,
did he give them the cards or did he laugh in their face?
Well, I'm guessing he gave them back.
Dang.
That's what it sounds like.
I hope he got his money.
So the Pinkertons are known. They're no longer shooting steel mill workers or infiltrating railroad strikes, but their recent history is no less anti-labor.
Wow.
Like, these are the bad guys. And Wizards is in cahoots with these people, man. I'm telling you what. Do we need any more reasons to hate Wizards of the Coast?
Right. And still, what I think
so.
is extra amazing is they didn't even try to keep quiet that they were employing them. They proudly announced that they were employing them for, I can't remember what their excuse was. But there was a bunch of people going, wait a minute, so like they can send the Pinkertons to your house if they don't like you.
There's no reason at this point. There are so many great independent alternatives out there. There is no reason that I can think of to support Wizards of the Coast.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah, I can think of no good reason.
It's a shame that they bought really freaking good titles and stuff, but I'd rather see them go down in flames than them
Welcome, man. It's
bastardize it anymore.
great to have you here today, and the Ultimate Kahuna is here as well. Hey. Good to have you guys here. Yeah, but man, I'm telling you, I don't see any good... I think really the only reason why people are still working with them is because it's one of those things where you think that if you... I don't know, maybe it's the thing where like you think you kiss up long enough that they're going to give you a hand up or something like or maybe you think that that's the only way is to jump in bed with these people or to piggyback off of this stuff they own. Yeah, people are so creative out there. They can do so much better. Welcome, Nicholas Gears. Good to have you here this evening, man. Yeah, there's...
Oh, I remember now. I remember when they announced the Pinkertons thing. It was when there was that big hoopla about something about D&D. People would have to pay to use the...
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you don't pay to use the open source or whatever,
we're
going to send Pinkertons around to rough you up.
That's when they announced. Yeah, that's when they announced the Pinkertons thing. They tried to walk back the paid thing a little bit.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Because I think it was a Geiger's family got pissed.
What is that man doing to that alligator? Well, Kahuna.
He's riding him.
Find out what that man is doing to that alligator. So, Chris, you're here. You are doing something fun. Speaking of indie being better than the alternatives out there, you're doing this thing.
Oh, I love
these. CG Brawl, man. This is so much fun. And you just recently did this. And American Bliss came out on top. And I think we all would like American Bliss to come out on top.
That's right.
Waka waka.
I think with the first round, I was really kind of winging it. Like I wasn't really thinking through it that much, and I was like, what are some popular indie characters, and just throw them up there. And then realized after I made the bracket that the final fight was going to be a 3-way brawl because I didn't put enough characters in there. And I was like, oh man, what am I doing? So yeah, I had to think this one through a little more. And then I wanted this one to have like a really big variety of characters, kind of not just like superheroes or whatever. Like I wanted this one to be a lot more fun and a lot more like diverse in the genres and things like that. So
How is it decided who goes against who? At least in the beginning.
So the very first bracket, my daughter was the one that decided who goes against who with
Nice.
all of them. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. And then
How old's your daughter?
She's 17.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And with this one, it was kind of like her helping me out, and then like a random, like there's some of them that were definitely planned out. Cecil and John Malin.
Right, that one made the most sense. Like that one made a lot of sense too.
Like I was like, well, duh, these like and I was really kind of torn on doing that because I did tell everybody at first, is like if you submit a character, it needs to be from a book that's fulfilled, and that's so like we know the character, we know their power set, but I was like, okay, yeah, we don't have no cover yet, but we know John Malin. So
I was gonna say you know the people that the self inserts are
exactly
characterized after. So
right,
that works.
Yeah, we know that. So so let's look at some of this. So what was yesterday was Trashman and Grok, and Trashman took that victory, 84%. Today we've got going, and you can see who I voted for. So you'll be able to see who I voted for. So the cat is out of the bag.
I did
Hopefully
too. I
don't make
had
anybody
to.
mad.
I had to because Florida man.
Well, look, when I saw this one, I had to because, quite honestly, I mean, granted, a pirate queen is pretty BA. But as a man who lived in Florida for the last 9 years of his life, there's nothing quite like a Florida man.
Yeah.
I mean, total disregard for self-preservation.
As you can tell, and if you look in the comments, Mike Barron put the cover of Florida Man 2 in the comments, and it's the Florida Man riding a giant warthog.
Oh yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, and like I was raised in Louisiana, like right next to Florida.
Man,
so,
I
like,
hope
we
it
have
brings-
pretty much all of the same stuff, but
Dude,
not the same news headlines.
I totally hope he brings Florida Man 2 to Fund My Comic. I really do.
That would be
That'll
awesome.
make me so happy. I freaking love Florida Man. So Florida Man, Pirate Queen. You guys don't have to say who you would vote for on this one, but I vote for Florida Man. It looks like Florida Man is gonna bring 10 hours left. This one is not as close as I thought it was gonna be. It looks like Florida Man's gonna bring this one out.
I did think that this one was going to be quite a bit closer.
I did too.
But the thing is, what I learned with the first bracket was your assumptions don't mean anything. Because there was quite a few. Like when Isom and King Ace, I was like, for sure, I was like, dude, Isom's popularity is at its height right now, with him being the newest character on the block, I guess you could say. And King Ace, like, unless you read Chuck Dixon's Arcaven stuff, then then how do you know who King Ace is? Now, I'm a big fan, but I was really surprised that King Ace not only came out on top, but like dominated. I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome, And of course,
I was surprised by that, especially with Isom's popularity.
Yeah, but Chuck
trust me.
Dixon quote tweeted me and said, I know who I'm voting for. So I think that may have helped.
That might have helped, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know how rabid the Rippa fans can be.
Oh, yeah.
We had a little incident about that this week where we have some supporters of our website that take a lot of ownership of Fund My Comic and was trying to, I guess, give some people some security about how secure and well built our website is, and in doing so insinuated that Eric July's website was not secure, which set some of his stands off, one particular.
The bigger problem there is simply it's an apples to oranges thing because it's secure enough for a single person website.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You need a different level of security for one that you have all these users.
And that's what I explained in the comments. My guys.
Yeah.
Look, number one, those comments are his. They're not mine. That like he's not speaking on behalf of our website at all. He's just trying to promote it. He's like any other fan. Just like, Eric's not responsible for the words of all of his fans. If one of Eric's fans comes and harasses me like they are right now, I'm not going to Eric and be like, hey, you need to call your dog off, because it's not his responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
He's not responsible for whatever that guy does, right? But so we try to make it clear that, look, that's not because we don't think we're in competition with anybody, because it's apples to oranges.
Yeah.
You can easily make with the right amount of money and brains behind it, you can make a single website a lot more secure than you can a multi-user platform, which is what we did. And so we decided that we thought, well, our thinking with Fun My Comic was there are certain people out there that aren't going to like what we do and who we allow to use it, right? And so we don't want them to be able to have easy access to the code base, the knowledge of what it is that we use. And WordPress is pretty well known by most coders. In fact, it's the most hacked kind of websites. And
that's what mine is.
Yeah, and we anticipate that people are not going to be happy with what we're doing. So we found a white label company that built this code from the ground up, and that they're the only ones that has access to the ones and zeros behind the curtain, right? So they're the only ones that know it. And everything that we have added to the site, we pay them to develop specifically for us. So every new feature is bought and paid for, from these people. And so that's what we wanted to go with. And so that's why we made the decision that we did. And this individual took that statement and kind of reworded it, reframed it in a not accurate way to, insult somebody that actually, quite honestly, inspired us to build Fund My Comic to begin with, because not everybody has those kind of resources, right? Not everybody has that kind of reach. So we decided that we wanted to make something available for people that didn't have that. And maybe together we could get that and use those resources together to make something really awesome and secure.
I watched that happen in real time in my Twitter feed, and I understood the intent of the person that was posting and so forth. Yeah. And you handled it very well, very professionally and so forth. So kudos to you for the way you kind of diffuse that a bit.
I really tried.
But in this day and age, when there's people who are thriving on they themselves can't create, and so they're hell bent on and destroying and sabotaging what others do, and rather than like the marketplace decide, and even just letting consumers vote with their dollars, they're adamant about preventing the consumers from even having a choice. Kudos to you for taking this route where you're anticipating that there's agents of chaos out there that are hell bent on the cheap thrill of deplatforming and hacking and so forth. So good job there.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, we wanted to make sure everything was secure, so that's kind of what started that. So yeah, I was really saying all that. I'm really surprised that ISOM didn't win his battle. Yeah. So yeah, that is So I think Florida Man's going to pull this one out.
Yeah, for sure.
Heyo. I just thought of a really dirty joke when I said that, so I'm sorry. It gets late. It gets late, and I start to think of these things, and I'm like, I shouldn't say that.
Scroll up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just click on that one, and go down to the Just click on that. No,
not the ad.
Yeah, the post, and you'll be able to see the entire lineup or whatever, because I have
this one right here.
Comics. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There it is. There you go. Okay. So tomorrow, Black Al versus Alex.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think Black Owl on that one.
I am with you on that. I try to like not say,
Yeah.
because me being the one that's putting him on, but I'm a big Mark Polton fan. He's actually editing my very first comic book script
awesome.
now. So
awesome.
So
this is not a popularity contest to me.
Yeah, no.
I think that Black Owl could take Alex.
I think that Alex is a trained fighter, but Black Owl kind of brings a little bit more than just like fighting as a sport. So, I think that gives Black Owl a very big edge.
Yeah, I agree. What do you guys think? Are you familiar with the characters at all?
No.
Do you guys read comics?
We do, yes.
Oh, to be fair, I have like a stack of ones that have been fulfilling and stuff.
Right.
And I am way behind.
Haven't caught up. I understand that. Okay. I know you guys know Perfect 10 and Shotgun Samurai.
Yeah.
We know those two.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to be living under a rock not to know these two. Okay. So I'm torn. I don't know who would actually win that one.
Same. I'm torn because I don't know who I want to pick.
This one, this one, I still can't. I'm like, I really don't know. I thought that this was a really good match because I think a lot of people are going to look at that and say, oh man, I have to think about this before I hit my choice.
And sure. I think that both creators are equally popular.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
This one really, I think, does come down to the character. Perfect 10, bred to be this fighter with guns, perfect and beautiful. And then he's a samurai with a shotgun.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, samurais are no slouch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Genuine Comics, currently kind of holds the title because of American Bliss. And, so I think that might, like, if you were looking at it from the perspective of like in this world here, then you would probably have American Bliss in the corner, like cheering on Perfect 10 and saying, giving her that little bit of boost.
You go, girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a tough one. Hold on a second. Still fighting off this cough a little bit. But yeah, that's a good matchup. That's a good one. And then we've got Casimir versus Tigress. I think, hands down, Casimir has this one.
That's probably who I would.
Yeah, I think so.
Pick.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's really difficult because, like, a lot of times you look at a character or you look at a couple of characters and you say, okay, like, I wouldn't put for a first round, I didn't want to put Casimir versus like Perfect 10 because you're talking two way different types of characters.
Yeah.
Like if they meet up later on and have to fight, then okay, but at this point, you kind of want to figure out like, okay, what is a good match,
So a lot of people are saying 10. Wouldn't it be funny if 10 wins this one and 10 and American Bliss have to go against each other?
If they do, then Dave Brink needs to have a 10 versus Bliss one shot.
Yeah, he really would need to do that.
Yeah. I think a lot goes into picking a favorite, at least for me, because for me, it's like, okay, am I doing it to just support the creator because I like that
Right.
person and I don't know the other person
Yeah,
or whatever?
I try not to let that be the case
Right?
for this, you know.
And then I'm like, am I going after it because I like the art style of that series better than the one of the other one? Or do
You
I
know
really
what-
think that this character could actually whoop this character?
Do you know what I think would actually be really cool? Is
What?
if based on whatever the outcomes of these were, we actually did one shots. Like we had a creative team do a one shot where it's like this, like these battles between these characters, and then like the winner of each one shot is of that
Vote thing.
of
vote
that
bracket.
season. You know, they get, you know, that's the winner of that issue, and then like at the end of it, you like have this other battle royale or whatever would be cool. But it's all based on what the voters actually said, so you don't get to you know, decide.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
I think that Eric that draws American Bliss, I think he said that when he starts working on the next issue, he did want to put like a little Easter egg in there about her becoming the champion, the first champion.
Yeah, Eric is awesome. Welcome, T-Buns. What's up, Bunny? What's up?
I gotta
Good
give
have you
it
here tonight, man.
to I gotta give it to Shotgun Samurai. And that here's my reasoning for this and why I think Samurai would win. Because you have, like, in the comic book universe, right? The heroes and the comic book characters, they have to get together to say one-liners at some point, right? So that puts it in perfect range for Shotgun to just flip thing up.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I can see that.
Welcome to Todo3. Taodao? I don't know how you'd pronounce that. Yo, what's up?
But what I extra love about this in general is it's just like a different way to help promote indie comics.
Yes.
Without like just retweet, you know, because everybody's retweeting the campaigns and everybody's saying what their favorite stuff is. But to actually like do this where it's forcing interaction and showing off actual characters and making people think about individual characters and who they belong to and stuff. It's a really fun way to promote everybody on Twitter.
So Amanda B thinks Black Tiger would win because Casimir's not trained.
We'll find out.
Oh yeah, that's a good point too. I mean,
you know, and that was so Yomi was in the very first bracket, and Rini was like, she's not gonna win. She's not a fighter, and she made it all the way to the 3-way battle. I think just because of fans pushing her, you know. And I was like, you can't, you know. I mean,
yeah, don't discount the character because a lot of people might not be voting based on who can kick whose butt. I had a conversation about that in the current one where I was like, oh, I went after who I actually thought could kick whose butt.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who I was talking to. Was like, oh, well, I went because, you know, one's hot. Like, one's hotter than the other.
Right. So I think that's what's going to happen here. When really I think the real winner is this corset that Dixie Rose is wearing.
Probably.
That is the real indestructible force of nature right there.
Strongest corset.
It is. The world's strongest corset versus guy in a jacket with no shirt.
Shirtless guy.
That's right.
Shotgun Samurai walks in an online poll, and all we can hear is the song "Click Click Boom." I love Shotgun Samurai. The Quaff is awesome. He has so much fun. I remember when he came on the scene, like nobody knew him, and then just his personality won everybody over. It was great. This one, I don't know. I think Nat is pretty BA.
I think Nat has the edge for sure, but like you said, that corset.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
one little slip and Nat would be like mesmerized by the nip.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's been the reasoning I've seen for I picked the hotter one because you you should not put dude characters up against chick characters anymore.
Right.
It's almost cheating.
Amanda B says the masses is a popularity contest. They don't know the details of all the characters. True.
Yeah,
but hopefully they will learn the details through things like this.
Yeah, that's so.
it causes
really what,
discussions. Like
what kind of gave me this inspiration is like I'm 41, so I was a teenager in the 90s, and after like the Nightfall, Death of Superman, in that era, every kid used to sit around, like everybody have their pile of comics, and you have one guy reading X-Men, one guy reading Batman, dude reading Ninja Turtles, and then somebody would be like, okay, so if Wolverine went up against Lobo, who would win? And then there would be a conversation. It wouldn't just be like, oh, this one it'd be like, why would they win?
Here's my reasoning.
Yeah.
And
I
like
think
all hell would break loose, and the earthquakes, would come out of the volcanoes would erupt.
Dogs and cats living together.
Pandemonium. So
it's one of the best things about comic book nerdery specifically is that is an ageless conversation that gets everybody around. Even like, if you're a convention and you can hop into these conversations as a stranger, even it's a good icebreaker. It's just whose favorite character can kick whose favorite character's ass.
Can we just stop to admire the fact that Amanda B knows all of these characters?
Yes.
Nice.
Probably the most educated comic book fan in Comicsgate.
I will agree.
Yes. Amanda B.
Yeah, the stuff I
knows them all.
know, I'm still know more of old school and not indie stuff than I do indie stuff still. Because I have that stack of books I need to catch up on.
I'm going to be honest. Yeah, she's absolutely right. Dixie is just a stripper. Not to discount the quality of strippers out there.
But from what I know of like Nat's personality, like the character's personality, she's got an edge. I think. Yeah, but I think he will take the battle. All right, so this one I'm embarrassed. I only know Commander Noble from this battle. I am unfamiliar with Carl von Magnuson.
So
Amanda B.
Well, I know both. I don't know every character in these brackets. I mean, I tried to do my best, but
based on what I know about Eric's comic book, and based on what I know from this image, one has a gun, one has a sword. I have to say the dude with the gun's going to win.
I'm going to disagree.
Ooh.
Carl has.
Why?
Carl
Safety's
has.
on.
So this
you got loaded.
This matchup was actually pretty well thought out. If you know Commander Noble, then you kind of know a bit of his origin story. We'll get to see that fleshed out soon. But Carl is he has like the blood of the old gods, like so he's got some god
like
behind
Nephilim
him.
DNA, some ancients in there.
Right. So I thought that this was a pretty good matchup because I was like, well, and honestly, I'll step out of my unbiased referee thing for a minute. I'm hoping that Commander Noble has to face Trash Man at some point.
Oh, that would be fun, yeah.
I didn't want to do that for a first round though.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think the popularity thing and more people are familiar with Commander Noble, I think, than Trash Man. I think if people really read the books, they would have a better understanding of what he is personally capable of and where his weaknesses are. But yeah. That is Chimera's character.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Testament. Check it out. It's I love him.
I am going to check it out because it's a really cool looking character. Let's see who else. All right, now this is the last bracket.
This is a good one.
Hands down.
Who do y'all think?
Malin, John Malin, I think is the winner on this one.
I think
just look at the neck, man.
Well,
now
I don't know, but what if Cecil fucking farts first?
All right.
Yeah.
But in real life, between the real John and the real Malin and the real Cecil, they've kind of switched places.
Yes.
Yeah. Is this Cecil from 4 years ago, or is this current Cecil? So
Right.
because
Right.
the drawing looks like Cecil from 4 years ago. So
Yeah, this is
Technically,
fat
the
Cecil
the
right here.
drawing,
They need
the
a ruling
drawing
there.
is the character of,
And that's
of Cecil, which is still
Future
fat.
John.
A future John.
Yeah, and a future John.
Well, look. Okay, so if they really had to, all right, John could beat up this Cecil, right? But
yeah.
Cecil could just, one, take his shirt off, and two, rip ass, and he might win.
Right, yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's really hard to say. But I think so in like real life, like Cecil got ripped.
Yeah.
Like he
And
went
I
and
don't
got
think
ripped.
Yeah, dude.
I don't think Cecil's eating poorly anymore. So the toots, might not
Right,
have the
yeah.
impact of 4 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, if it really come down to it, we know that John would grab an oar and beat the crap out of him with it.
Yes.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
So
Or Cecil might just buy the win and pay John to throw in the towel.
Right. Yeah, he might do
Lots
that.
of money
with
his
all that cash grab money. he
Yeah.
got.
Yes. Exactly.
Which congrats on hearing that thing shipped. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I have mine. I haven't opened it yet because I was thinking about
I
doing
did
it on
not
the
back
stream.
cash grab, and I'm going to tell you why I didn't back cash grab. Because it was in the title. I was like, no, I'm not going to back this book.
You know what's really bad is I accidentally backed it twice. Oh, I'm guessing it's all in that one box I got. But I forgot that I had backed it the first time on a different account and backed it on my main account and then was like, wait a minute.
Or get a copy on eBay if anyone says it's any good.
Right?
I was like, there's no way I'm going to back. It's in the title. And people's like, I can't believe that book hadn't shipped yet. Malin went, they went, Cecil went and got skinny and like buff. And like did he use the money? I'm like, look, it's in the title. If you guys actually think you're getting this book,
Right?
shame on you.
It's actually pretty genius.
I ain't mad at him.
because
It's called a cash grab,
Really
yeah.
he really could have been like, oh, of course there's no book. Like,
Right.
Hello, it's in the title.
Nobody could reasonably get mad, technically.
I would not have been mad. I was just waiting to see if the book actually come out.
Yeah,
Because
I
I was
was
like,
only mad that I accidentally backed it twice and didn't
Yeah.
find out until like way later. When I was trying to convert my one login to just be one freaking account because I think it was logging me in through Facebook half the time.
oh yeah.
Or some crap, and I was trying to merge my accounts, and I realized that I had a backing on each account, and I didn't look, but I kept going. I hope I at least backed two.
I was just getting
covers.
entertainment out of
Dang.
watching people seethe.
Yeah,
You know, it's like there were the people that were mad that people were backing it. Then there was people mad that people weren't backing it. And then there was people that were mad that they backed it and get their books. Then there are people that are happy that people backed it and didn't get their books. And then those people that were happy got mad again when the people got their books, and the people that were mad that they didn't get their books finally got their books, and now they're happy. I'm telling you, that is better than any soap opera you could possibly watch.
Cecil is a genius.
Drama.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
about that freaking campaign.
I love it. I love it. How can you be disappointed as a bystander in my shoes? You cannot be disappointed. It was
Right.
fantastic. Everything about that was great. So, you know what? I might just vote for Cecil because of that. Just because,
Because of what's written on his helmet right there.
right. Maybe just because of that right there.
Right?
But let's talk about this for a little bit. James, you've got a new book.
Jason.
Yeah, I said James.
It's late.
It's litten.
It
It's
is.
lit. It's litten. It's written right there on the screen.
Lit.
Yeah.
I swear, there's only Mountain Dew in this. Only Mountain Dew in that.
Well, you were up late. You were up late with the prowlers in your backyard, so it's understood.
Yeah, that went last night. That was a couple nights ago. I actually got the best night's sleep last night that I've gotten in probably 2 weeks.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Because I've been sick. I've been really sick. Okay. And so last night I took some cough medicine. I took a little extra cough medicine. And I put on my CPAP machine like a true 43-year-old. And I slept for 12 hours.
Oh,
Not quite
nice.
12 hours, but close, really close. And
good.
so yeah, I
It's
woke
good to
up this morning.
recharge your batteries.
I was like, I'm gonna draw things, and then I went work on this wraparound cover, and I was so proud of it. I'm like, I'm gonna ink this thing, and they're like, oh, that's not the prompt. And I was like, crap, where'd the prompt go? Guys, Discord sucks. I'm just saying, Discord
Aw.
blows. Discord blows. So I have to redo all that work tomorrow. But guess what? It's gonna be a fun day doing it tomorrow. So we're gonna get that done tomorrow. But yeah. Anyway, Jupiter, man, I'm gonna play your trailer.
Yeah, and be advised, the trailer is like 6 20-second clips that I had put together for Facebook and YouTube. So you don't necessarily want to play the whole thing, but you can probably play the first 2 clips, and they're pretty indicative of what's in the book.
I'll play.
And,
I'll play some of this.
and
then
the
we'll ask you a bunch of
the music
questions.
is clear. Don't worry about getting struck about the music. It's through
All right.
Adobe stock, so it's all good.
Doesn't matter if I did anyway. Does this look like the face of a guy who cares if he gets struck a little bit?
Nah, not at all.
I love this real like classic look to it, man.
Yeah.
So, so parts of this look really pulpy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So
and so in the book, majority of the book takes place in a normal world, as it were, and I draw like in a modern art style like that with a full color palette and lots of detail. And then there's sections of the book where my main character is reading a comic book, and so for that I'm drawing like this Jack Kirby Silver Age, Bronze Age style, and I'm coloring it with the Marvel's 64 color palette that they had in the 1980s. And that's where you see that effect of like the
Dots, yeah.
flexographic dots and the paper fibers. And then there's another section of the book that's this alternate reality where there's this revolution, and that's the stuff that's kind of in that blue. It looks like 1970s John Buscema Conan, but it's got that psychedelic coloring. Yeah, that section there with the dinosaur. So that's in the alternate reality, or the other dimension that kind of smashes into the normal world. So I'll change the art style to serve the storytelling of it being either the real world, the comic book world, or the alternate reality.
So you're the artist of this as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did
Very
the writing, the drawing, the inking, the coloring, the lettering. I did everything, including the typos. No, just kidding. There's no typos, but I did everything.
It's like, yeah. Gonna take credit for those typos. Way to go, man.
I relentlessly rooted out all of the typos. There's no, it's typo free now, but there were times.
Is there a green baby in this?
There is. So that's a sore topic with me, because I put this story together. This story was birthed in like 2017, 2018. And there is a little green elf in this book. However, I came up with this before the frickin' Mandalorian. So
Right.
I'm keeping it on the down low. I'm hoping that the Mandalorian dies on the vine and people forget all about Baby Yoda when we get to issue 2 and you see the little elf baby that comes through in the ship there.
I think your chances are high.
Will says he's more confused. My logic about cash grab.
That would
Then have a
be-
crap load of Pinkertons. I can't even read that without laughing. On the plus side, Piper now has a copy to sell to Luke.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yeah,
You're a
there should
jack
be
of
at
all
least
comic
2
trades, my
comic-
friend.
Or 2 copies of that.
My favorite part of the book is the stuff that you've drawn in this classic style.
Yeah, there's about 6 pages in the book where my character, she's unhappy and she kind of escapes into a comic book, and in the world of Jupiter, there's no superheroes in the world of Jupiter, right? In this normal world, the only superheroes are in the comic books. So as a form of escapism, she starts reading the comic book, and then the storyline follows the comic book for 5 or 6 pages, and I'm going to continue to do that as part of the storytelling because it's gonna speak to what's happening in the quote unquote real world. But it is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to try to draw in use Jack Kirby's visual vocabulary and kind of do different inking effects and so
Very
forth.
cool.
And it creates texture for the reader and variety for me. So it's good.
Yeah, I do like it. What's also interesting is I've noticed there's some kind of like theater of the disturbed kind of stuff going on here. Like this little house, and you zoom in, and there's this thing, this hourglass, and on the hourglass is oh my gosh, it's like a loop. So I've noticed like things like that, or like a giant's baby hand coming through a alley, or things like that. Explain
Yeah,
some
I've
of
been
that.
staring at that one for a while because I love it. It looks like a house in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere.
And actually, that right there is just a 1-page strip in the book. And because Jupiter's 40 pages full color, it's only $10, but it's 40 pages. So I've got this great big canvas to work on. So the main part of the book is going to take as many pages as it needs to take, but I'm always going to have a couple pages in the back to try something new. And this is a 1-page strip. It's only 6 panels. But when I do something like this, I put myself in the mind frame of if I could go back in time, and I was hanging out with Robert Williams and Robert Crumb, and they said, "Hey kid, you're a rookie, but we'll let you do 1 page in Zap Comics. Like, what would I do?" Right? And so I do something like this. That's just a little strip that's kind of psychedelic, kind of surreal. And I had a lot of fun doing this right here. And then I got to animate it. So if you look at the trailer, there's if you later on we can skip ahead, but I got to animate this with my cousin. He helped me out because he knows After Effects. I learned Adobe
nice.
Animate. Yeah, I learned Adobe Animate, but for this one, I said I think I'm gonna need your help, and he did it. He helped me do it in Adobe After Effects, and it's just a lot of fun. And usually when people watch it, they're like, "Dude, you should have kept looping it." So we can take a look at it later, but it was a lot of fun to do. Just had to do.
Do you work digital or traditional?
What I'll do is I'll thumbnail on paper, and then what I'll do is I'll have an outline of the story, and then I'll thumbnail the panels, right? So I'll use 3x5 index cards, and I'll do a thumbnail, and I'll have little notes about where the dialogue is going to go and stuff like that, and then I lay them down on the floor, and then I begin to take away and add and take away, so that I build a page. Because in my mind, the basic unit of measurement in a comic book is just the page. It's not the panel, it's the page. My belief is you should be able to rip any page out of a comic book and have it stand alone and be a work of art in and of itself. Now, what's unique about a comic book is that obviously you're going panel to panel, page to page, and then what's unique about the comic book is that there's always the cliffhanger, or there's always, as a storytelling medium, when you get to the end, there has to be something that they've accomplished as the creative team that makes you want to get the next one, right? And it could be a cliffhanger, it could be a sucker punch, it could be a mystery that's unresolved. But the point is that's what makes comic books different from a novel, a movie, and so forth. So what I'll do is I'll draw it out, thumbnail it, and then I'll rearrange them, and I'll add, I'll take away until I get it broken out into pages, and then I'll scan them in, and then I'll go into Adobe Fresco, and then I'll do the line art in Adobe Fresco or Adobe Illustrator, and then I'll go color it, and then I'll go back and forth between Fresco and Photoshop, and I'll begin to add color, add shading, go in there, add more texture with the Apple Pencil, and go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But everything starts out with the thumbnails.
Oh, very good. So there's a lot that Jason, you've been saying that I'm picking up on. You're naming names and saying things. You have a real appreciation for the art form of sequential storytelling. I can tell. And I appreciate that. And I think people can see that coming out in the book. And I think that's why you're being so successful with this. Because it's not just it doesn't seem like it's just a way to tell a story to you, but it's the way to tell this story for you.
Yeah.
Some people don't get that. Some people get that it's a way. But there are a few of us out there that it's the way that we prefer to tell the story. And it looks great. But yeah, these pages here, I might actually have to hire you to do some short story stuff in this old style for me.
There is a commission tier. So if you like that Jack Kirby style, I've got a commission tier where I will draw your character in this Jack Kirby style, and then I'll color it with the dots and stuff like that. And then and then once I do that, when I send it to you, you're free to use it as a cover, as a pinup, whatever. So if you do like that Jack Kirby style, there's a commission tier there.
Yeah, we might have to do this. Do you plan on bringing this over to Fund My Comic in the future?
So I've got to ask you some questions, but
well, I'd be happy to answer those questions.
I'd certainly like to get into that. Yeah, potentially, definitely. So there's
because that decides whether I'm going to back it now or if I'm going to back it on Fund My Comic.
This is such a great book. You're going to want to get it as soon as possible. So you should back Indiegogo. I'm on the march. So the good news is that we hit our $5,000 stretch goal. So that means everybody who backs is going to get one of these, which is the Captain Klein Bottle Fan Club membership card. Yeah. So so we hit the $5,000 stretch goal, right? And so everybody who backs is going to get the Captain Klein Bottle Fan Club membership card. This is 24-point PVC laminated, and this is Captain Klein Bottle. He's that Jack Kirby character who's within the pages of Jupiter, and so just to kind of as a memento for what would exist in this world, there's this fan club membership card, and in true 1970s comic book fashion, it's sponsored by a pie company. He's a time traveling astronaut, so the years go backward in time. And then on the back is a schematic of his rocket ship. And then there's a very important saying. Yeah, well, there you go. There's a very important message that is that I want everybody to have in their wallet, their purse, their fanny pack. I'm not judge. It is, if you're not part of the problem, you are the solution. And it's very important that in these crazy times, if you're going to work and you're doing a good job at work and you're taking care of family and taking care of your kids, you're loving your spouse, and at the end of the day, you just want to play a video game, read a comic book, you are the solution. You're not hurting anybody. You're doing what you should be doing. You're living correctly and you're free. So those people who are telling you that you should not be doing those things, or those people that tell you that they can't get out of bed because they think your ancestors did something to their ancestors, whatever it is, you need to tell them, listen, I'm not your problem. I'm the solution. Be more like me, be happy. So I want everybody to have this, but everybody who backs is going to get this card. Now, I now have a new stretch goal. The new stretch goal is the $8,000 stretch goal. And I partnered with the Legion of Memers. Okay. If Jupiter gets to $8,000 on Indiegogo plus Kickstarter, every backer is going to get an official license to meme, sanctioned and authorized by the Legion of Memers. This is breaking news. Currently, I'm manufacturing the cards. Okay, so everybody's aware that China, Russia, the European Union are going to crack down on people who meme. In our country here, believe it or not, a gentleman was sentenced to he was convicted of violating a federal election law by a meme about Hillary Clinton. So this is getting serious. We're entering the era of the meme wars. So there's meme police, there's meme checkpoints. I want you all to have this, which is an official license to meme. So if you back Jupiter and we get to $8,000, everybody will get one of these. It will fit in your wallet. It's going to be the same size as this guy, and it's going to be your passport, your meme, so you can be a free person.
My free pass to meme.
That's right.
I'll tell you, I think I'm going to need that.
It's sanctioned by the Legion of Memers. They're
You mean I've been
100% behind.
memeing without a license this whole time?
Yeah, so it's kind of like you were kind of swimming naked there. So you really want to protect yourself, and you want to be fully licensed by the Legion.
I'll tell you what, swimming naked's a lot of fun unless it's in shark-infested waters. Just saying.
Somebody should ask Florida Man about that.
I don't think he's looking like the kind of guy that would get a license to do anything. Yeah.
Are you?
Not to worry. I have a permit. This just says I can do what I want.
That's my meme license.
This is cool though. I like this. I like the nice looking campaign. $10 get you in. Skybolt there. You know what? Let's see if we can get a little support on this book tonight. If you guys are out there, if you haven't backed this yet, let's go ahead and check this thing out. Go ahead and give it a little waxy little. I can't think of anything else to say. I'm sorry.
And this
when
might
you back it, tag Jason on Twitter with the hashtag got you backed.
Got you backed.
That's right.
With hashtag.
And I know this is the Fund My Comic channel, but it's also available on Kickstarter. So if you prefer Kickstarter, I've got a campaign running there. It's got like 30-some days left on that one. And then the Indiegogo, I'm in the second 30 on the Indiegogo, so there's like 19 days left. But again, the stretch goal for the Legion of Memers license to meme, that's if cumulatively I can get to 8,000.
8,000 cumulatively.
Yeah.
So between all platforms. Okay.
Yep, exactly.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Very cool idea.
But I'm trying to get the Indiegogo
page. This
up
looks
as
so
much as I
good.
can. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with that one. I was channeling Bob Layton. Yeah, because I think Bob Layton is the definitive Iron Man artist, and just what he did to emulate metal. I was like, okay, all right, here we go. I'm gonna try and be like Bob Layton. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Love it. I love it, man. It looks so good. You're very talented.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's hope you're as good a writer as you are an artist.
I hope so.
I'm teasing. I always say things like that. It's like, how awkward can we make the room feel?
And then in terms of having fun, Jupiter's 40 pages, so I've got a big canvas, and I have a pie ad. So, so just like a great comic book from days of old, there's a pie ad in there too. So just to show you how much fun I'm having, I've got a pie ad.
Very neat, man. I really like what you got going on here. This is a cool thing, man.
Yeah.
Cool concept for a book. Cool way to approach it. Really neat stretch goals and tiers that you've got going on. This is great. This is really great. I like this a lot.
Thank you.
I'm not just saying that. I know I've got like one of those voices that sound like everything is sarcastic. Like I don't really mean it. Yeah.
So
this is swell.
I've got a question for you. So after the Indiegogo campaign's done, and then the Kickstarter is going to finish after that, and I'll do my fulfillment. And the book is 95% done. I'm just tuning up the artwork. So if you back this book, you're going to get it probably around 4th of July. So my question to you, Luke, is once I've completed the book, your site is called Fund My Comic. Is it possible for a creator like myself to say, okay, I've got the overprint, I've got a couple 100 or 1,000 copies of my book here, I want to hang a shingle on your site and basically offer it for sale via the site, even though it's already been produced? Is that an option?
Jason, now don't let the name fool you. It's just a clever title. You can literally do anything you want on this. Well, not anything. Anything. But we have a lot of freedom here. In fact, we created the site to where it could function as people's storefront if they needed to be. There's 3 different kinds of campaigns that we run on here. We have an all or nothing, which means you have to hit your goal or you don't make a dime. We actually take the funding from people's cards differently on that than we do everything else. Like, Kickstarter always waits to the end. Indiegogo always takes from the beginning. We kind of split the difference on an all or nothing. We don't take we don't hit your card until the end of the campaign when it's funded. So you don't have to worry about refunds. You're never going to have to actually issue a refund if it doesn't fund. Second type is we have a keep it all, which is more like a flexible goal, like what you have running right now. That will take the money right away. That is usually, both of those are time-based campaigns where you're going to want to set like an end date. But if, situation you're talking like, we have a thing called continuous campaign or like a in demand. It's still the same 3% platform fee no matter what, even if you funded somewhere else. But no, you can put that over there and just set it up as a storefront and run a storefront from our website too. That way you can take advantage of the check the shelf section and have it listed there to continue getting residuals. We have all kinds of people that have already come over and brought their books on to continuous campaigns doing this. And so we're having a lot of fun with that, actually.
So on the continuous campaign model, if someone puts in an order, if someone orders it on a Monday, do I get the notification and the shipping instructions on that evening, or is it batched by the week? How do you
get it right away, actually? So you'll get all that information as soon as it comes through. But on even our keep it all campaigns, even if it's time based, we know that you're going to keep the money no matter what, right? So it doesn't matter if we wait till the end to do the payouts or not. So based on what you want, so we've had creators ask that we don't do the payout until the end. But most people actually want the resources now to pay for production and to pay for getting all the stuff ordered in that they're going to need to get to manage fulfillment. So we actually do payouts on once it's available to you, we do payouts on Tuesdays. So you'll actually get paid out. You'll get the information right away on what has been sold or backed and what has been and whether it's cleared or not. And so you'll get that, and everything shows up into a spreadsheet that you can download. So that's how we do that. We are going to be doing some updates here in the future on our back end for fulfillment purposes for creators. Right now, all fulfillment stuff is handled through the CSV file because I guess I'm that way. I like to handle it myself. I wind up downloading it anyway. I don't like using Indiegogo's backdoor stuff, their dashboard stuff. It sucks. So when we do the dashboard stuff, it's going to be good. And so that's a lot of extra development time and hours that we're going to be funneling into that. So those tools are coming. For now, everything's just on a spreadsheet that you can download. It does track that you've got all the back. You can see all your transactions right on your dashboard. So you can just go back there and take a look at that. Under My Campaigns, it'll have a list of campaigns you're running. There's a green button that says Transactions. You click on that, it'll show you all of the things that's been backed. So you can see all of that stuff that you need. And absolutely, you can run that. And you don't have to just have a comic or a game. We do magazines, manga, books. People will want to do. Someone asked if we could fund a cookbook. I was like, well, yeah. Bear in mind the name of the site is Fund My Comic. You're probably not going to get a lot of organic traffic for a cookbook. You'll have to bring all that traffic there yourself. But they want to take advantage of the 3% platform fee and not have to pay more money and take advantage of the tools that we have. They said, no, since I'm going to be bringing my own traffic there anyway. Plus, we have this really cool thing, Jason, called a widget. You've heard of widgets before. That's nothing new, right? But what we can do is you can actually edit a lot of the parameters of this widget and pop the HTML directly into your website. So people can go to jason.com, right? Yep. And they can, or jupiter.com and actually have like that page is an HTML landing page that has the widget into it. So they never even have to go to Fund My Comic to back it. They can actually just do it right there from your domain name, which is
that's fantastic.
So we offer a lot of tools because we want to make it perfect for you guys. It's really all about, look, I just wanted to make comics and be left the hell alone. And so that's why we started building this thing, is because we just, turns out there was a whole lot of us out there that just want to make comics and be left the hell alone. And so we've got people that are really working to get funded. Ooh, Edwin went up a little further tonight. Ooh, the Mythicals went up a little bit more.
Ojo's unstoppable.
Ojo is unstoppable.
He is. Ma'am, I Am is
And he has
doing-
the best editor ever.
He's the best editor ever. Yeah. Ma'am, I Am is doing pretty good. See, this is a book right here that they wouldn't be allowed to make their book on any other
there's
platform.
no way.
Yeah.
Nobody let them do that. And you know how many complaints I've gotten about them? Any guesses? 4?
I don't know.
Anybody
I'll
else?
say 4.
20? No, 20.
20? 20?
That's my guess.
Everybody's wrong. 0.
Okay.
I've gotten 0 complaints. You know why? Because people know I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, they know. The Karens know if they call me, you know, they can literally call me if they wanted to. If they call the company, and they're like, hey, you shouldn't let Chet Festive on there. He's offending me. I'm like, look, there's a lot of other books on there that aren't going to offend you, so go ahead and check one of those out and just take a chill pill, Karen. Like, they're not doing anything illegal, and they're following the terms of service. They're good to go. In this country, we're still free to express ourselves any way that we want to. So, people know that about me. And they're like, I think that's one of our selling points, is that they got this guy taking all the complaint calls. He don't care. He don't care. It's like,
Well,
no, don't care.
I right now I've got a lot on my plate, but based upon what you've told me here, I will absolutely be connecting with you in June to set this up. So
it's going to be so easy for you to build your campaign too. Literally, just open up a browser with your Indiegogo. Go there and just highlight the section that you want to copy and drag it over into your Fund My Comic page on your editor, and it just populates from that. I had to make it simple. We had to have something simple for me. I get way too grumpy if it's hard.
Same.
Nice.
Wow. That could have been taken poorly.
Oh.
Yep.
You know,
Yes.
I don't know if they wanted money or they wanted something more sexual.
you never know.
It's usually
Anyway.
money.
Yeah, but we added miniatures because, and if there's if you're out there and there's a thing that you would like added, a category, you just request it. You request the category, we'll put it up there.
It's totally my
Whiskey
fault.
requested mini. Ooh, I misspelled that.
Ah.
No, I didn't. It's spelled right. Miniatures.
good.
Yeah. I was about to say,
You know-
ooh, did I misspell that?
I remember we had kind of a brief conversation on Twitter. Well, a few of us did during the first CG Brawl of coming up with a card game for independent characters.
Yep.
And I cannot stress enough how awesome that would be.
We got to do it. In fact, I am super motivated to do it. Check this out. So we got our first card game on Fund My Comic. Watch this trailer, guys. This is so funny.
I am the spectator.
I'm gonna apologize about that.
I am he who
I'm using the wrong
spectates.
browser.
I scoured the universe in search of a very special card game. Well, I skipped the Crab Nebula because, you. But now my search is over. Ever wish you could share your love of comics and superheroes and collectible card games with your whole family? Now you can with
Superpowered Smash Masters! It's your friendly neighborhood superhero parody card game. In Superpowered Smash Masters, or Spasm. Spasm? Can we say that? Inappropriate. In Spasm, you assemble teams of heroes and build decks around what your heroes can do. And what is it they do, you ask? Protect the innocent? Stamp out injustice?
No, we go find some rival heroes to smash.
Yes, because that's what superheroes do.
Tell them about the hero cards, and do it right.
Each hero has a special power. They can benefit your team, or they can melt your enemies' faces.
Right on. If your heroes smash all the other heroes, you win, punk.
Don't call them that. The game's content is appropriate for kids. I mean, most kids.
Not feral kids. Never hand your cards to a feral kid. Not if you want your hand back.
Do you guys know any feral kids?
This is a parody game, lovingly crammed full of comic book cliches and pop culture references. Because we're nerds.
The content's rated G. I mean, it would be if people rated card games.
It's a deck-building game the whole family can play together. Thanks for checking out our game. We're grateful for your support.
Learn more about Smash Masters by checking out our gameplay video. Do it. Until next time.
Don't say it.
Excelsior!
So seeing this pop up there, I'm super motivated to do this. All we got to do is everybody that wants to be involved, we have to get their permission.
Right.
So like we could do like some kind of thing. Someone's going to wind up making money off of this, I think, over time. Probably not initially, but over time. And so we got to figure out how you would handle that.
Well, I when I was a teenager, Marvel had the card game Overpower, and it was, it was just all the Marvel characters, and I remember as a teenager being like, oh man, it'd be really cool if DC had a card game that was just like this and you could mix and match characters. Well, with the decentralized nature of indie comics, like that, I mean, that's the way to go. And you could have a really cool, fun game with a massively diverse slate of characters.
So we created so Nick Talker, my partner, created the base plus 2 system for my hybrids RPG, which basically you can plug anybody's game into that base model with their module. So anybody can create their character for the hybrid universe to play it in a role-playing game. So using kind of like the base idea of the power system that we had slotted on the back of the trading cards is where I was thinking, well, that's where we're going to develop a card game from that. And I was going to do it just for the hybrids. I was going to develop one for the hybrids game. But we could easily take that format and share that format with everybody and say, look, plug your character's info in these fields. Like, just send us the info for these fields. And we can make a deck, or maybe look like a little expansion decks for just Cyberfrog or just, Black Owl or something like that, so we could create that. And if there's not like a whole deck, like we could just include the characters like Florida Man. You could throw Florida Man, Malin, Cecil. You could throw like these kind of like, kind of like exterior characters that are just kind of one-off situations into their own deck, or whatever, own mini decks and stuff like that. And then I was going to work on like figuring out the pricing and all that,
I have a really terrible name for the card game if you want to name it.
I would.
It's like you have portals and like, holes in the universe and stuff. Just call it Indie Hole.
Indie Hole. Oh my gosh, Indie Hole. That's great.
What a story, Mark.
I love it, Indie Hole.
Hamalana.
That's nuts. But yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun to do it, Wise Guy says, I think there are at least 2 or 3 creators who are building a CG RPG tabletop game. I've fallen behind on their status though. I mean, that'd be great.
Over the years, a couple have popped up and claimed that they're doing that, and then just like completely disappeared.
It really does. It just kind of falls off. I mean, if we had a guy like Chris Faction to head up that project, to be the guy behind it, and we found an artist that was willing to work for, I guess Peanuts really, to do the art for the cards, and get things, help get things going. I think that could be a lot of fun. I think that really could be a lot of fun to do that. And it
would be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it would be a blast. you know, to
Speaking
have something
about
like that.
Tabletop games there. Like if anybody happens to need anything particularly made for the tabletop industry, or if you're, you know, you're going to this games and cards or anything like that, I'm hoping to see more stuff on Fun My Comic, but I'm also I make miniatures all the time. So if you guys anybody wants to start their own indie based game of any type, or on the tabletop with cards, without cards, you know, just send a message.
Yeah. Whiskey's the guy to do it for you. He's got to make it happen.
3D. Yeah. And then I can fund it or back all your comics and stuff. If I have shekels, I can, you know, spend them.
Everybody needs shekels, man. It's almost like the economy sucks. I don't know what's going on.
It is. Yeah, in light of that, with how Jupiter's doing, I think I'm extra grateful, just as I know that everybody out there's a lot of people out there that are dealing with.
Thanks, Wolfer.
You know, everything costs more now, so everybody's discretionary spending is getting chewed up by inflation. So I'm grateful for the backers that have.
It is tough. It is tough right now, and yeah. So, but thanks, Chris, for running this game, this Twitter game that we've been playing.
Yeah,
it's helping draw attention to some of these great characters. Jason, you've got a great looking book. I can't wait for this to get in people's hands.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you're gonna let me know, you can privately. We don't have to talk about it on the air, but if you're going to offer that homage commission on Fun My Comic, I'll give you your money there, because you get to keep more of your money over there. We only take 3% instead of the 5% that they take on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, because I want to give you my money for it. I just want to give you more of my money if I can. That's why I ask. Okay. So I would rather you keep 20%, 2% more.
Got it.
Because you're an awesome guy and you deserve it.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that tier looks really cool. I like that a lot. Yeah. So, but yeah, thanks for being somebody that loves comics.
Absolutely.
And that is doing this for the right reason, because you love it. Everyone here, we're doing what we do because we love this stuff, man. We love storytelling. We love comic books. We love games. It's a passion for us. You know, this is escapism. We're trying to have a good time. People are fighting too much on the internet about stupid crap. Let's fight about the important stuff. Who would win between a fight between Florida Man and the Pirate Queen? Right. That is what's important. We need to know who would win in the throwdown.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And the other question is, in that battle, whose shirt comes off first?
Florida Man, for sure.
Florida Man. Yeah.
Florida Man.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. Although it would be it'd be a nail biter. It'd come right down to the wire, I think, between those two. Isn't that the book that had all the covers of Pirate Queen with her top off? I think it was.
I think so.
It did very well.
Yeah.
Imagine that. It did well.
Right. What sells
guys,
comic books? We can't figure it out.
I don't know. What do you think? Piper, what sells comics?
Boobies.
Boobies.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
I think so. She's an editor. She would know.
You good story. You got to get people to get into that good story with good cover art.
Good art, good story. I'm so sick of hearing people do, what's more important, the writing or the art? They're equally as important, folks.
Yes. That's why it's a comic.
It is a visual medium.
So
you have to have both of them.
For, I guess, everybody in the room here is... who can't interrupt you there? But I got a question. So starting out, like, just say, like, because I don't make comics, right? I make action figures and things, but I want to bust into making comics, which is always my dream. What do you do? Just say you want to get into the writing aspect of start out in writing, right? And you're not the best illustrator in the universe, and you're not. You just want to get a story out there. What does it take, right? How do you? Sure, you can get who do you get? What's the process there? You got to hire an artist, or you got to get somebody to do commissions for you. You need an editor. What else do you need?
I think first steps first is editor, but Chris, you go ahead.
Yeah, that's that's what I was getting. So I'm like brand new to making a comic. I finished my script, and then I was like, okay, where do I go from here? And then people in the community were like, oh, well, now you need an editor. And then thankfully, before I sent off to an editor, Justin Sweet was like, let me take a look at your script. And so I sent it to him, and he was like, you need to reformat before you send to an editor. And I was like, okay, teach me something, and he showed me, how to go through have a better format. And then
I'm really glad that he showed you that.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh my God. Gotta
So
go hug that man.
right. And and then I was like, okay, I need an editor. And honestly, I just messaged Mark Polton and was like, dude, you're the fulfillment king. Like and he's such a good writer, and I was like, I'm just gonna ask him, and then we came up with a deal, and there you go.
Yeah,
So,
my advice is always to find somebody that you trust that does editing or writing, offers those services, and then listen to them. Listen to them. There's too many times when, you might second guess them, but listen to the advice that you get. You don't always have to take it. Like, you can go with your gut. There's been times when Piper's told me things, and I said, I respect, but I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna listen to that. But then there's other areas where I do listen, because sometimes your gut will tell you, I really want to do it this way. And an editor's not supposed to be there to make you not have your voice. They're there to help you not leave anything on the table. You want to make sure that you're hitting all of your high points in the story.
What you're trying to say is getting picked up.
Yeah.
People picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, and they're going to help you with your formatting. They're going to help you with understanding. Jason, it was one thing you were talking about at the end of the book. There's that cliffhanger. Well, what a lot of people don't realize about comic books is that you have a mini cliffhanger on every odd page.
Yeah.
Because that's the page that you have to turn over in the leaf. And so you need a little mini cliffhanger on every one of those. And so, yeah, each page is a work of art. But if you think about the way people hold the comic, you've got 2 pages in many cases to really make a beautiful artistic impact with that little middle, mini cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And so people kind of forget those aspects of it. Editors can help you get all of that. Once you have a story and you're well thought out, formulated and everything, then you start looking for concept artists to design your characters and put some images to the actual characters. My suggestion is, if your sequential artist also does character design, hire them to do both. They might be a little more expensive than what you want to go, but because they're going to have to draw that character multiple times over and over again, they're going to have to be the ones that are behind the design, I think. Justin Sweet came to me with a script and hired me for character design. And I started designing the characters, and I did not think that I was going to be the sequential artist for it. And then he hired me for the sequential art. And I'm kicking myself every freaking day because I over-designed those characters with really cool details and stuff. And Chrome Dog looks awesome.
I was going to say, you didn't think you were going to get picked up, so you made those characters nice and detailed.
I was like, whoever's going to have to draw this is going to suck. But Chrome Dog looks really cool, and everyone admits it. Everyone's like, Chrome Dog looks so awesome, and I'm like, yeah, he does. And everyone's like, oh, that new character looks awesome. Caesar looks awesome. I'm like, yes, he does. Crap, I got to draw these guys over and over again. So it was really cool to see someone like Aaron Lopresti draw those 2 characters. And I was like, man, I really overdid. He was like, you're the one to blame? I'm like, I'm the one to blame. I'm sorry. But try to hire the same artist, and that way you kind of get the same look and feel that you're going for. And you want an artist that you're going to have a relationship with, and that's going to care about the characters as much as you do.
That's what
important.
that's what I'm finding is like I don't want to say the most difficult part yet, because I haven't found my artist yet. But is first off finding someone that draws in a style that you're looking for, and then like what are they going to be as passionate about the character once they put pen to paper, or whatever, and realize that, like, oh man, this character is something I care about,
Yeah, and you do want someone that you're gonna have good communication with, someone that you trust, like Justin trusts me. He knows, like, okay, Luke's gonna get the job done. He's gonna get it done well, because he also knows that, like right now I'm busy with Fund My Comic and stuff, so I'm supposed to be started on new pages, but he knows those pages are gonna be done on time because I'll kill myself to get them done on time, right? So you have to know that no matter what comes up, that your artist is gonna put everything he's got into that project when the time comes, which is so easy for Jason because he's everything. He does it all, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Now, I work with colorists. I don't like to color my own stuff. I will color other people's stuff, which, by the way, Jason, I gotta pick your brain later on that, the old Marvel color scheme, like how you did that, because I've got all the tools. I've just never done it. And there's like 10 pages that I'm doing that would look great with that now that I saw it done. And I'm like, I kind of got to do that now. So I got to teach myself how to do it. But anyway, I mean, just, you got to find that team, artist, and then find your right colorist. And then letters, to be honest with you, you can save letters for down the road. Once you've got the, but before you even draw that first comic book page, you're going to be doing concept art like crazy. You're going to want concept art for vehicles that are being used, for characters that are there. If there's reoccurring locations, you're going to want concept art for that. You're going to want to just, have total look and feel stuff so that you can do. And while you're working on the script, start working on a mood board. And I hate to say the word mood board because it sounds ugh.
I know.
But you need a mood board. Start putting together a folder that's got images with the color schemes that you like and the art styles that you want, and ideas for each character. Well, I kind of like what this looks like on this character, and I like what this looks like on that character. Start piling all that stuff together so your artist can see as much vision as you possibly have about your world, so that he can try to capture it, or she can try to capture it the best way possible. That's my best advice on how to get started with this thing. Oh, and have fun.
Yes.
It's freaking funny books, man. Have fun.
Yep.
Yeah, when people start like getting all, you're doing it wrong. There's no such thing as doing it wrong. Do it however you want. It's comic books, man. Jason, if somebody would have said, well, you can't do it like that. You can't use 3 different art styles for one comic book. It's going to look disjointed. What do you tell them?
I'd say I'm an indie artist and I can do what I want. And
I can do what I want. I've got a permit.
Exactly.
Do what I want.
Got a permit.
That's right.
I got a license to create comic books. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do what I want. I got a permit. I can do what I want. Yeah. I also like to tell people, well,
I know more than you.
All right.
Oh, I have a. Hold on. Am I modded in here? I am.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes,
Okay.
you're modded.
Bit in there. I have my free, because of how many scripts I've edited and all the wonderful different formatting choices I've had to figure out. I made a free doc that is how I format my scripts when I'm writing scripts. So it's like a little how-to. It's basically like, well, here's what I do, and this is what I definitely love. Like, if it's close to this, I love being your editor because it's really easy to navigate.
Yeah.
So I just made a doc that was
I don't know that I actually follow any of that. I'm sorry.
You're close enough. You're close enough. It's mostly like, please break this up. Break up your stuff. You're not trying to write a novel, please.
Yeah. when it comes to writing, though, what I like to do is I like to outline my full story before I script the first issue.
Yeah.
Because I like to know where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, I like to know. It's like going on a road trip. You kind of want to know where you go before you leave. You know.
I feel
so that's
like
what I like to do.
I feel like I have the. Of course, this is my very first comic script I've ever written. I came up in music, and I've written music since I was like 15 years old. And with music, because it's not like you write that much. You know, a song doesn't have that many lyrics.
Right.
But the way music always worked for me is it would come in this massive rush, and I would have to get words on paper so fast when it hit. I mean, I would keep a notebook next to my bed, because sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night and there'd just be like 5 lines of song. With this, I think a lot of it kind of was the same way, where I was like at work and would just like be dictating into my phone like all of the stuff that's going on in my head, and then be like, okay, I'm gonna come back to that later, and then arrange it, because right now it's, you know, chaos thoughts.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's called writing beats, actually.
Yeah.
So like you write, like I'll write a scene, like I'll have a scene in my head, and so I'll write a scene in my head, and I don't know where that scene's gonna go right away. So I'll write that scene, and that goes into my outline somewhere, and then I'll like, oh well, I want this to happen, and this to happen, and this to happen, and I'll write those beats out, and then I'll figure out where those beats go, like choruses and bridge and verses and stuff, and then I'll come up with a connective tissue. Well, how am I going to move from this chord progression into that chord progression? Do I need to change my time signature? Let me slow it down or speed it up. And so, yeah, because I come from a music background too. That's what I did. I did that professionally for a number of years. And so I get it. Like, that's how your brain works, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not that you're turning that off. You actually just, you lean into it and you embrace it, I think, is for me, the best way to do that is to embrace it, but then to refine it, to understand that everything that comes out right now might not stay this way, but it's just like writing a song, that maybe this scene is going to be perfect and I'm not going to change anything about it, and down the road it's going to be amazing. Or maybe what started out as this riff is going to turn into something else completely different, but at least it kind of fuels it and kickstarts that for me. And then you keep going back to this document, this crazy big document that just has all of your word salads and word vomits, you know, all of those moments where it's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. And you pull it together, and then that's where your editor comes in. Help me make sense of this. That's like a producer in music is really what that is.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to turn this into something that people are going to dance to and that people are going to want to play on the radio?
Yeah.
I.e., wanting to read and buy in a store. You know, like, what's going to turn this into something that is going to be able to be enjoyed by multiple people forever, kind of thing, you know? So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. The process itself is as fun as any of it. And for us that are the artists for what we write as well, Jason will tell you this, it is so much fun to then also kind of take that and put it on paper. But now I have ideas that I don't script. Like, I just like kind of have like this idea for like, oh, I'm just going to draw 6 pages of this because I know where it's going to go. And I'm just going to kind of work out like in rough form where it's going to go. And then I'll tighten it up, and then I'll write the text later. I'll figure it out.
I refer to that as I've got guardrails but no handcuffs. So so you've got this kind of wide this wide lane, and you know where you're going, but you're not inhibited, and you don't feel that you're not blocking yourself. So you get into a good state of flow when the ideas come up, and sometimes you're halfway through something like that, and you're like, I've got a great idea. It's not what I want to do for this story, but now you've birthed another idea, and you set it, you put it in your notebook or whatever. So I hear what
And
you're
you can
saying.
do that in text or with art. Where Jason and I, where we kind of have a little leg up on a lot of people, is that we can, well, especially you get this with a lot of experience. If you've drawn a lot of sequential art, you can kind of just go. It's almost like free form storytelling, and it's not always great. Sometimes it's bad. Most of the time it's bad, but sometimes it's good, and sometimes you get some really cool nuggets with it, and it's a lot of fun to just kind of tell the story in a few pages. But if it's like hybrids, I can't do that with hybrids. Because hybrids is an epic. From issue 1, it was designed to be an epic. And my first editor led me astray.
Well,
Didn't
good
they,
to know
Piper?
there's a danger out there too, I guess, right? In
Yeah.
the sense that you need a good editor and you need a good
Mhm.
sequential artist, and you need all these things. But I guess you said the most important thing is about fun. But I guess my last question though would be, what kind of like funding do you need to get something off the ground? Like, what's the bare minimum kind of ballpark figure?
100% depends
You're
on
not gonna
what
like the answer.
you're trying to make
True.
and what the end goal is, because everything like page count,
Yeah, and your timeline.
yeah,
So
everything, every little thing is going to either add or remove part of the costs.
Determining what style you want.
what I did was, and like I'm in the very beginning of this, is at first I was like, okay, I have a story, and now I have an editor, and then I was like, okay, I need to put together a budget. I came a little late to the budget game, but I was like, okay, like I need to figure out, like I need ballpark estimates, and then I need to start narrowing that down and everything. And it's what I'm working on now is a 42-page book, and I think it's going to cost about 10 grand.
That's about average. So my best advice is work in whatever you can do without going massively in debt and hurting your family. Because it could either be a hobby or it could be a job to you. Determine that your first book, this is a hobby. Okay? Think of it in that terms. If you're going to pick up photography as a hobby, how much are you going to spend on new camera equipment? Think about that.
Gun guy.
If you're a gun guy, like these guys down here, gun guy, then you're going to spend a lot of money on your hobby, right? So always find a sequential artist first, because you can get pinup guys all day long. Everybody does pinups, not everybody does sequential. Find your sequential guy. Find out what his budget or her budget is, okay? And then that's what you've got to be happy with. If you undercut on your sequentials, you're going to be disappointed, and your whole process of having fun goes out the window, because you're going to get pages that don't look like what you want them to look like, and you're going to be miserable. You're going to hate every step of it, and you're going to wind up paying extra to try to get things fixed or to redo things. Just look, if your sequential guy's $100 a page, he's $100 a page. That's it. You deal with that, and you figure out, like, okay, well, $100 a page, how many pages of the story can I tell? And in what timeline can I afford to do it? And then you work from there. And then you're like, well, I want to add color. So that means I've got to find a cheaper colorist. And there's some Brazilian guys out there you can get for pretty cheap. Argentinian guys too. Yeah, you can get some pretty cheap. Some of them aren't very good. Some of them are really good and they cost more. But you don't have to do like that $80 a page for colors like these some of these Marvel guys get. There are people that are out there working regular on this stuff that can get you a better price. But yeah, and then you work at it from there. You find yourself a good letterer. Don't skimp on the letterer either. Find a decent one. You can get somebody around $10 a page to do letters. That's pretty good. If you try to do it, I'll tell you, I've seen so many books. Get a bad letterer, and it just ruins the whole book. Cause it's like, oh, it looks so good, and then you put this like amateur looking letters on top of it. It's like, that looks bad. But anyway, hopefully we answered some questions, and hopefully some people can clip this at the end and have something. Welcome. Thank you, Wolf, for joining us. Welcome, Immortal Rising Comics. Great to have you here. Well, guys, we're gonna head out of here. Thank you so much, Chris, for being here. Thank you, Jason, for being here tonight. Your book looks great. I can't wait for people to get a hold of this thing. It's no wonder it's doing so well. You've put in the hard work for it. You are an immensely talented individual, and I only hate you a little bit because of that.
I hope I get a little. I spark a little bit of competitiveness, and brings up.
You do a little bit. I'm like, I really love.
Brings you up your game, right? So
yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to get better at that coloring game there, especially that old style. And I don't really do a lot of like that. Like the fact that like it looks like 3 different people drew that, and that it's you. I'm like, that is so cool. See, I can't do that.
I'm a Gemini, so I already have 2 personalities, but I guess maybe I've got 3.
You worked in a third. I'm full on Taurus. I live my life like a Taurus. Everything about me is Taurus. Just a big old bull. But anyway, guys, please check out one of our partners over at Fun My Comic is RJ with the Critical Blast. Check this out. We spoke of Florida Man, and RJ is responsible for that fulfillment. He's also doing the fulfillment for, Private American. I think he's doing that too.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. He's doing a lot of their fulfillment, and he can take care of your fulfillment too. Make sure that you get that taken, get that stuff. Don't forget, Thursday morning, we'll be here with Nerd Bacon. Is our long form kind of talk show kind of thing, like a morning radio show. It is safe for work. You can have that on in the background while you're working. This week we have a special guest with AI, breaking the writer's strike. AI is going to be here. They're going to write our monologue on the spot Thursday morning, and we're going to interview them. We go over the news and talk about things. We're going to test AI's ability to write a story this week and let's see if we need flesh and blood behind those things. And I'm going to tell you, I've tested it out a little bit, and I don't think we have anything to worry about.
No.
Not at all. But it's going to be a lot of fun this Thursday morning. So swing by, find out what's going on in the world of comics and games. And then we'll just have a few laughs and enjoy ourselves. So that's Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Don't forget to also check out Randy Friday morning, 5 a.m. for Comics by Night. Don't forget to check out Piper's channel. She's got a lot going on over there with her games and her Twitch. Your Twitch is still going strong, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep, that was... guys?
Fizz Giggity is who's on Twitch. So like... don't get freaked out if you check out my Twitch. But if you like video games and / or anime, manga, the Twitch is an anime chick playing video games. Badly.
Anime chick?
Usually badly.
Who doesn't love that?
Sounds good to me.
She does have jiggle physics. Always make sure that she has jiggle physics.
Praise God for jiggle physics.
Amen.
That's what I say every time I see my belly jiggle. Thank God for those physics. Anyway, that's uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Anyway, what was I going to say? I distracted myself once again. Yes. Oh, if you're out there and you, we also do a show here called Luke Draws. If you're out there and you need a little boost on your campaign, give me a holler. We spend about an hour and a half drawing from not really scratch. I normally get a preliminary sketch laid down before we get started. But we do a pencil and ink of your original character, and I interview you for an hour and a half. And we do, you've got this nice little Bob Ross soft ASMR voice that I've got now. And so we draw happy little trees, nice little bicep ripples, and things like that. So yeah, so we do those, and the art is yours to keep. Use it however you like. It's just my way of giving back to the community, saying, hey, let's try to get a little love on your campaign and a few eyes on it. And you might be like, Luke, you do so much already. And you're right, but I could do more. We could all do more. And that's why I say, remember, build up more than you tear down and leave that wood pile higher than you found it, folks. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm going to play this bumper, and we're going to get out of here. God bless you.